Hey, what's happening? One SirJames coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, I have a product review courtesy of Gamdias, and the product in question is the Hades M1 wired and wireless gaming mouse. Here is what the box will look like: a simple and clean packaging all the way around. On the very bottom here in the orange will basically indicate some of its main highlights, such as being able to use it in a wired and wireless format. You also have a weight tuning system, adjustable DPI, and of course this will also utilize the Hera software, so you can change some of the colors around and use some of the extra features that will program will tend to offer. Then on the very back here, it's pretty much going over what you get inside the box, and of course listed in several different languages, as simple as that. Moving on over to the item itself, here is the mouse. You also have a wireless dongle switch, a USB cable, along with not only one, two, but three adjustable side panels as well, because any type of mouse that will give you options, I think, is a great mouse due to the fact that you can make it work for your personal preference and need. Now, going over the mouse itself, as you can see, it's pretty much like your ordinary mouse, except this has a tremendous amount of DPI settings that you could tweak around with, especially with the Hera software. This also has LED options, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. But as you can see, the design is simple and clean all the way around. Some nice grips here on the very side. Then as for the other side, you're going to notice that there seems to be a bit of a gap here, which is why you have all these extra ones here. By default, out of the box, this is the one that's personally attached. However, I don't like using the small one just because it just makes it a bit awkward to handle, which is why I like either using the medium or large option. And if you just need to attach them, all you need to do is basically look. As you can see, they go based on magnets, and there's technically only one way they can fit in. And boom, just like that, you are good to go. And now you have much more of a larger grip, and I think this tends to work better. And also, again, it's all about personal preference. Now, if you take a look on the bottom here, of course, has some information, your sensor. You also have a on and off switch. If you are going to be using this as a wired option, just make sure that this is flipped off, so that way you're not utilizing or ruining the battery in general. And of course, if you do use this as a wireless option, you're going to need to make sure that you plug in the little dongle into your computer, and of course to enable this to the on switch, as simple as that. And down here on the very bottom, this is where the weight system will go into. Basically push in and turn, flip it on over, and of course there is your weights. With the weights in, it does make the mouse have a little bit of a heftiness to it, which I personally like. However, if you wish to make the mouse a little bit lighter or light as a feather, just go ahead and either remove some, if not some, then all of the weights in general. As simple as that. And when you just need to put it back in, go ahead and make sure it lines up and twist till it's locked. And it's as simple as that. So easy going. As far as the comfort of the mouse goes, again, once you figure out what side panel you're going to like, the mouse in general, even after hours of use at a time, is extremely comfortable, to the point where I did not suffer any cramps or any type of performance issues while browsing the web or whatever it is that I may be doing. And of course, even while gaming, like first-person shooters that I tend to play a lot of, like Battlefield for example, again, I didn't have any issues whatsoever in using it in a both wireless and wired format. Now, as for the cables themselves, they are gold plated at the very end here. So very nice indeed. And of course, if you do plug in the other end to your mouse, it technically only goes in one way. If you look on the top here, not sure if you could see it, there you go, there's a little bit of a bump there. And then as for the mouse itself, you can kind of see a little bit of a notch there. Basically, this will only go in one way, and it's as simple as that. So therefore, you can't mess it up, because sometimes, if it's not a USB-C cable, it's like, okay, which way does it go? But now you know it only goes in one way. And again, it's a very snug fit indeed, so I don't see this cable falling out anytime soon, unless if you just don't attach it correctly. Now, as for the Hera software, let me go ahead and demonstrate how that works, especially with the LED options. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Hera software. It's pretty much very simplistic compared to some of the keyboard options. Now, if you don't already have the Hero software, you are going to need to make sure that you download it from their website. It is free of charge. And of course, as you can see, when the mouse is plugged in, you have all your LED options, which spreads all the way around. And of course, the logo is brightly lit. Now, for the Hero software itself, of course, the first option is going to be your key assignments to change things around. And of course, you're also able to see the percentage of your battery life, so you'll have a nice clear indication that if you needed to charge it or not. The second option down is your macro management. You also have your mouse control. Now, mouse control here is going to give you more options for this. Now, if you select the DPI settings on the mouse itself, you're going to see it being adjusted in the software itself. And you could tweak this around to your personal preference. So let's say, for example, right now the smallest one it's set to is 600, but maybe I want that just a little bit more. I'll just go down here towards the line, just increase that a little bit more. Or if I wanted to go even less than that, I could go ahead and decrease it, which 600 is the smallest. So maybe I wanted 800, and of course it would automatically be saved. And you could change it to either profile 1 all the way up to 5 different profiles. But for me, I tend to keep it a little bit just above the center. Of course, you have your cruiser speed, vertical scroll speed, and double click speed. And then on the bottom here, this will give you your LED options for the lighting. Now, if you go to the single option, you basically select whatever color you want, and that is what the mouse will be. As you can see right now, it's currently at the color settings blue, where the logo is nicely brightly lit, and then the color will spread along. However, it doesn't quite reach the mouse all the way around because it tends to kind of fade towards the top here, which isn't too big of a deal. And then of course, if you want to select a different color, just basically go into the color palette and it will change that color, as simple as that. Now, the breathing option is basically where the mouse will have the color lit up and then will kind of fade out and fade back in, and you can change the speed of this. So if you want this to constantly be active, then it'll be a constant breathing motion. However, if you want it to have a more of a slower effect, you can go ahead and decrease the speed as it will slowly fade out and then right back in. And then as far as the neon options, which is right here, this will of course go through the neon colors, kind of like an RGB setting, and it'll basically just change to several different colors. So pretty neat. So again, it's all about personal preference and style here. So let's go ahead and get back to the final conclusion. And there you guys go. That was the Hades M1 wired and wireless gaming mouse by Gamdias. Now in the end, I'm easily going to give this product a 5 out of 5. It's built very solid. I like all the additional features for it. The lighting feature, even though you could say it's more of a gimmick, but I like it in general. And the fact that you have adjustable settings right here for more comfort depending on personal preference, and the fact that you also could use this in a wired and wireless option is a pretty neat feature. And just for me personally, any type of mouse that will give you extra kind of customization features is generally a good mouse in my opinion. You have all kinds of different settings that you could tweak around with to work best for you, and I've never been disappointed when it comes to their gaming mouses. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll have a link to this if you want to check out some more information. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.